So your light's in place. Next up you need some shadows. Now you have to turn your shadows on to do that. So let's just show you this tab here. This is the rendering tab. Here you have your lights. So lots of quick shortcuts here. Here's some of your nodes, some of your shaders. And here are some of the rendering settings. So first of all I'm going to use this box here to pull up render settings. Now in Maya software here you're going to come down to ray tracing quality and make sure ray tracing box is ticked here, and then close that. Now you've already added a light, so make sure your light is selected, and you need to come into Attribute Editor. Scroll down until you see Ray Trace Shadow Attributes, and make sure that this box here is ticked also. This will basically mean that your shadows are turned on generally and that your shadows are turned on for each light. Now, every light you make, you'll need to turn on those shadows again. Okay, so then you're ready to go. You can click right up here, and this is your rendering window. So you can see it's taking a bit longer to render now. Things are getting a bit more complicated, and my shadow's in place. So we see a nice black shadow here. It's very dramatic, but it's not very realistic exactly. And why is that? Well, that's because light doesn't work like this. Light actually bounces off surfaces. So in theory, light should be bouncing back off this wall and this wall to make it realistic. So you might want to try to recreate that effect. I would do that maybe by adding an ambient light, for example, and just putting that to the back of the room where the light is kind of bouncing off. And I don't want it to be too bright either, so maybe I'm just going to turn that down. And then not forgetting to, in Attribute Editor, to make sure that Ray Tracing Shadows is also turned on for this one. And then I'm going to render again. So you can see I've got this double shadow effect. Maybe I don't want that second shadow, but it is beginning to look a bit more realistic at the light over here. So that's better, but not perfect. Let's turn off this ray tracing shadow here, and then render again. Ah, yeah, much better. Okay, so you can still see the main shadow cast by the main light. But you get that bounce back. Things are much brighter over this side now. So, yep, that's how you're using shadows.